Podcast on a Tuesday.
Hello.
And we have something nice and fun to talk about. Probably won't take up too much of your time. It's just nice and fun, and I thought we'd better talk about it. It seems as it's supposed to be the biggest event of the calendar year for this certain thing. It's just basically because a few people on the channel are fans of it. We've just had Wrestlemania, and we haven't given a thought and opinions and shit about it, Chris. So because it's such a weird one, we're gonna kind of have to. There's some weird talking points. There's some awesome talking points. But yes, it's Dan and Chris's Wrestlemania. I don't want to say review, but like
moments.
Yeah, just the Wrestlemania was literally just gone about a week and 2-3 days ago.
Yes,
it was over 2 nights, too big for one night, Saturday night and Sunday night, which in itself was mental. Good.
Technically, if they had an audience, I think they would have just played it throughout both the one night.
Apparently, though, Vince McMahon has been wanting to do 2 nights for years because he thinks people's attention spans now are thingy. So if you put some of these big shows, their attention spans drop off.
It didn't seem any shorter than what it...
Well, it did. The pre-show started at 11.
Yeah.
We got our first match at about 11:30, and then one of them finished at 3:30 on the Saturday night.
But I think it was 4 o'clock. Before that.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2.
Well, no, it was later than that because it started at 10. I remember getting on like 5:30.
Was it 5:30?
Yeah, we were in walkabout for fucking jags of time, mate. Because you got to remember there was 18 matches. Because if you combine these 2 shows, you got your 2 hours. Just say there were 4 hours. That's 8. 9, 10, 11, that's 12 hours.
To be honest, it did seem better separating it.
Yeah, it seemed quite good. You had your main event.
All the only thing you were missing was the audience.
Yeah, which is the... Okay, Right, was that... Did it ruin the show or not for you, having the audience?
It kind of did.
Yeah.
But they kind of experimented shit without the show, a.k.a. the Undertaker and AJ fight. That was fucking brilliant.
That was so good.
But, on the other hand, the fucking themed and the John Cena, I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
But when you said that, and my mum said it as well, I said, I think they've done exactly what they needed to do because you've just given that reaction. Because the Fiend's supposed to be gobbly-goody, weird, what's going on. I understand this is mental, slightly creepy, odd.
If this is supposed to be, not saying it is, but if this is supposed to be Cena slowly making his way out of the wrestling side of things, they need to give something a bit more thingy than that, though.
No, I think for his final thing, it will be a genuine... It will probably be him really pushing over the next big Cena, so it could be his last fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it was him and Roman, or him, Kevin Owens. I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone like Kevin Owens. That wouldn't shock me at all. He will have one last massive... I mean, we might not see him again.
That was supposed to be the Undertaker's last fight as well, but how many times...
No, the Undertaker's last fight as the Dead Man. He's now going to keep coming back as the American Badass. That's why That's why the symbol come up. That's his last fight as the Dead Man.
Right.
The audience side of things did ruin it a little bit in terms of because it was B's first Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania is it's the grand... That's what I mean. I was a bit gutted. Her first Wrestlemania, we're going to miss the grand spectacle thing of it, the fireworks, the music.
That is what you do miss.
That is WrestleMania. I mean, some of the matches you're not asked. You listen to the crowd or whatever like that. That was a bit... But they still did... Like, they used that weakness and put it to the benefit. They could cut, stop, edit, pre-record, do this, add this moment, take out bits. They can make it like a TV show.
They can, and if they do it right, like what they did with The Undertaker and AJ's, then I think it'd be brilliant.
Yes, which was perfect because...
But in-ring stuff...
When you can hear them hitting the mat and hear them talking to each other.
But, on the other hand, the Viper and Edge one, that was a phenomenal match.
I probably... Some people are a bit annoyed because they did like a thing to... what's his name that killed his parents, killed his family? Chris Benoit. There was apparently a little bit that honoured that, and they were a bit like, well, it was a bit dodgy. But anyway, I really enjoyed that because they went everywhere. They went up the top of the truck, here, there, and everything. It was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
And the Undertaker AJ match, As much as the acting wasn't amazing, but that's what you get from WWE. These aren't actors.
No, they're not.
They're performers at thingy. And it played out like when you got a guilty pleasure and you watch a bit of a shitty-ish film and you're watching it.
TV series.
Yeah, and you watch, you go, that was kind of like, remember that biker show we watched? And it was about the informant. We could never find a newer season. About it was not long after Sons of Anarchy. I know you absolutely loved the show, so I know for a fact you watched it. He was an informant, but he joined a biker gang.
Oh yes, he's undercover, under gang cover.
Yeah,
Underland Summit. Yeah,
Gangland, Underland Gangland. Yeah,
Gangland
like
undercover.
That. Yeah, it was fucking awesome, but that felt like a rip off of Sons, and it felt a little bit B-list. That's what this feel had. And it was kind of like a guilty pleasure. Like, this is cool as fuck. The way Taker was like, "We're not done, boy. I'm not done with you boys." That's all you got. But then AJ was like, "Come on, old man!" And the druids come out, and you had the pyro and the motorbike. Like when he rode in, it was a little bit corny, but I'm getting goosebumps now. I was like, "This is kind of dope."
It was.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And I don't know how they would have done that if we had the live audience, because would you have just played the whole thing on TVs around the ground, which then, for us at home, would have been alright, because we would have seen on the screen, but if you were at the arena, might have been a bit...
I think if we had an audience, I think it would have been different. I think we would have been in-ring, I think.
It probably would have, yeah, I reckon they would have just set up stuff around the ring.
Yeah, they would have just fired him in the coffin and just fucking closed like what they did.
Yeah, but some of the matches were still fucking awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed the ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, which they're now doing.
See, I was like, what?
It was mad the way it ended, but they're doing a rematch for that with the other people that weren't in the match.
I'm saying that.
They're doing that, and The Miz is going to be in it, which is next week on SmackDown. But that's just a triple threat, it's not a ladder match. But obviously, Morrison and Miz won that because Uso, who was it, Jimmy? And Kofi pulled the thing down, but Morrison hardly found it. I still enjoyed that. Kevin Owens Seth was quite good. It was a typical wrestling match, but then we had the massive fucking drop of Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Charlotte and whatchamacallit.
Rhea Ripley.
She should have won that.
She only lost. It's just come out now. She only lost because of her working visa, because she's Australian, has now officially run out, and they can't guarantee how long she can stay in the country for. She's back in Australia now. They don't know when she's going to be able to come back because of the whole lockdown travel shit. So they couldn't have her as champion, which she's not there to defend it. So the only reason why she lost.
Otherwise she would have won.
Yeah, she would have won. Because Rhea Ripley's awesome as fuck.
She's fucking awesome. She had a fucking bull in a China shop. She was just gam for it.
She probably was, mate. She probably was. Say, I was shocked at Becky Lynch.
Yeah, again.
I mean, I'm not shocked at I'm gutted because I love Becky Lynch, but I mean, Shayna Baszler's a fucking unit for here we go.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre, that was fucking, I loved it because it's just the two big dudes, their biggest moves, Drew McIntyre kicking out of a couple of F5s, mint.
And then obviously the Goldberg fight. With,
which was another shock.
Yeah.
The Fiend's now starting on Bray Wyatt, the Braun Strowman, he's challenging next. But again, with the Drew McIntyre, right after he finished that match, they pre-recorded another match. Big Show comes down and challenges him to a fight. So on the same night, 20 minutes after fighting Brock Lesnar, he fought Big Show, but they aired it on Raw the night after. So he fought Brock Lesnar 20 minutes later in the Big Show. Fuck that. But I'm happy for Drew McIntyre. That's fucking awesome. That's gnarly.
It's the first fucking title belt he's actually won. He's been there for God knows that long.
He's a fucking unit, and I'm looking forward to who he feuds with next.
I know he's Scotch, but we're gonna keep him going.
I just love him with the Claymore kick, rip your head off. Apparently Brock Lesnar had a bit of a fight with an argument with Vince McMahon after the show. So did Goldberg, because Goldberg didn't think he should lose because he said it makes his character look weak.
Well, yeah, because he was supposed to originally play Roman, but obviously with Roman's fucking past illness, he couldn't afford to. Leukemia. He doesn't want to risk it. He might be out for a good while, and you can't blame him for that. Which just means it'll probably be Braun versus Roman. We'll get that fight at some point.
Yeah, in the near future for the title. It looks like Braun's heading into a feud with The Fiend. Money in the Bank's next. I don't know what they're going to do there. Even the women's match, the SmackDown women's match, I quite enjoyed that. I thought Sasha Banks was maybe going to turn.
I thought Sasha was going to turn, like.
I had her pinned to win. That's the thing, that the belts stayed with me. Chris didn't have the greatest of times in his predictions.
No. I think I got one.
No, I think you got a couple because we agreed on some. Basically, after the first night, no matter what happened the next night, Chris couldn't win, even if he won them all. But it's just sheer dumb luck half the time, because a lot of them matches were 50-50. Like I had Edge on, and you had Randy Orton on. that was just so, I feel like same with AJ Undertaker. That could have. I felt like it could have gone anywhere.
That wasn't anywhere. That was just anymore. That one.
Oh, it was. It fucking was. In terms of Cena the Fiend, I think the Fiend won. He pinned Cena, but it was Bray Wyatt that Bray Wyatt that did the count. There was no bell ring at the start. I loved how it started. I mean, credit to Cena. He's not the greatest of actors. Yeah. He can sometimes do them silly, goofy faces, but he's made it in Hollywood. Fair. Some roles he really does play well at. And sometimes when you watch him like in that, your acting's not the best there, pal. But anyway, the goofy side of it, and the we had a massive time lapse for all the past, the NWO stuff and all this kind of shit. John Cena's first debut against Kurt. I was like, this is a real awesome homage to wrestling. When Cena first comes in, Vince is there and all this kind of shit. He's like, if you don't get this done, you're fired, which is exactly what he said to CM Punk when they fought at Chicago. I had so much fun with that. I thought, this is fuck. Kept coming down. There was the goofy sound effects and woo, missed me, John. Woo, you missed me. And I loved it. And I thought them two was that match and the Undertaker match was so fucking cool.
Like the Undertaker match was brilliant. I was just confused with this match.
Yeah, but like I said, I think that was the point. I think you weren't supposed to go into it because the Fiend doesn't do stuff to make sense.
Say it was the fun fucking happy.
The Firefly Funhouse match, which for all we know, they are the rules to have a weird time travel. Not because Cena was obviously he come in lifting all the weights, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he couldn't use his arms. He was like, "Oh, my arms are thinking like Jesus fucking Christ, what is going on?" But I absolutely loved it. Who other big shocks did we have? The Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn beat Daniel Bryan, which was a bit like, well, Jesus Christ, I thought Daniel Bryan would have had that. That's a cool feud going on forward. I mean, I did pick Zayn purely because I thought Zayn he's a good heel, heading into Money in the Bank. He can have a few more matches out with Zayn and stuff like that. But all around, WrestleMania, considering there was no crowd, and a few weeks ago we were saying, well, I was definitely, no, just cancel it. It's gonna be crap. It was still decent.
It was alright, considering there was no crowd.
It wasn't amazing because of the time you miss, you know, when like Drew, if he was on the corner, the fireworks and
that's what I mean.
Thank you. This was WrestleMania.
For WrestleMania, you need the crowd, you need the fireworks, you need all the fucking explosions. That's what you need for WrestleMania. But apart from that, your usual Monday Night Raw or fucking Tuesday Night SmackDown or whatever, you could get away with it, and maybe throw in a VT every now and then. Yeah. But for main events like that, you need an audience. Yeah,
100%. But again, I didn't hate it, and I'm sure one day when I'm sat cleaning my room, I'll happily put it on again, which I quite often do for WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles. Put them on as background noise. When I have a quick coffee break, I'll watch what's on, and I get back to it. Yeah, it was fun.
I enjoyed it. In the Bank?
It's the next pay-per-view. I want to say it's like a month away, or maybe just over, which... Money in the Bank is one of my favourites because it's a bunch of people climbing ladders trying to get that briefcase. Whoever gets the briefcase is arguably the next champion, but you've got to wonder who they're going to cash in on.
WrestleMania. Yeah. In Hollywood next year.
Yeah, Hollywood next year, which fingers crossed we're back to normal, because if it's Hollywood, you've got all these big actors inside of WWE, Dave Bautista, The Rock, Cena, a few other people have done films. No, I wasn't saying Miz. But you've got all these big actors that they could add. Like, if they've got a Hollywood WrestleMania and they don't add someone like The Rock, it's going to... I mean, I can't imagine Batista having a match, but Batista is...
He could make an appearance, I suppose.
He's Hollywood now, isn't he? Because I know that match against Triple H last year, whichever year, that was his retirement match.
That was his retirement match.
But if he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame or anything like that next year, he can easily come down and make an appearance or some shit. But yeah, I want to say if that was in a crowd, some of the matches was like the Kevin Owens Seth matches. That would be one of the best WrestleManias I've seen in recent times. But because there was no crowd and the WrestleMania feeling, which is no fault of WWE's own, it's not their fault. It just lacklustered a little bit. You had to bring up the energy yourself. Like when they come to the ring, and you like even B was joking, going, "Hey," and like it's silent and a bit awkward. You're like, oh, come on. But given its circumstances, it did the best with what it's got.
It did, but it did well.
Yeah.
It did very well, to be honest. And like I say, if the audience was there, I don't think we would have got The Undertaker and a theme match what we did.
Yeah.
How we did it.
And I think regardless of what you thought of it, because I know some people didn't like the Age of Taker match, I thought it was corny as hell. Some people did. And the same with the Cena, whichever side you stand on. I don't think the nights would have been as good without them if they had them as normal matches. Because remember after Saturday night, we were like, oh, can't wait to see what happens in Cena. It sort of kept the show going. You were a bit of a buzz. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen then. And it kept the excitement going. So in one respect...
Yeah, for me, with one respect, because you didn't have the audience, you got that. So it would have been probably back to normal. But it just shows in the future that they might be able to do more VTs.
They could easily do that. They could, if they're... I mean... WWE has one of the biggest YouTube channels there is out there. If you really wanted to, you could make a premiere and say, we're doing another match like this. It's going straight up on our YouTube channel. I know they might lose out a bit of money, or we've got a one-off match, whether it be whoever you want. Like Braun Strowman and The Fiend, whenever they eventually fight, they could have that
buy it on YouTube.
Yeah, we did that with one of the Logan Paul fights, didn't we? The first one? The first Logan Paul boxing fight? Yeah. It's got a huge audience. So if you don't want to risk making the show feel a bit weird and the people at the live show, you could say, right, 20-minute match is going up on our YouTube channel. It's going to be another thing you want. Mint.
Or they'll put it on the website, on their app.
And then there's a rumour, though, apparently WWE, from now on, will not show WrestleMania on the network. You'll only be able to get it on pay-per-view.
Why?
Because people, if they get it on pay-per-view, they have to spend like $50 a time. Whereas with the network, all you need to do is sign up for that 1 month, get your 1 month free, get WrestleMania for now, then just sign off. But people like me that pay $10 or 10 quid every month, and I watch the documentaries, like I finished that Undertaker documentary that we started after the thingy. I watch it quite often. It's a bit of a nightmare because it's like, well, I'm paying my money here. You're supposed to get every pay-per-view, everything on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they will show WrestleMania on it, just like the night after. But
WrestleMania, we got the pub in it.
I was about to say, at the same time though, we go to the pub. So if you sat at home watching it, you're going to have to fork out. For us, it'll be like 25 quid. In America, it's usually $40 to $50 for their pay-per-views.
Yeah, it'd be easy to go to the pub. It's a tenner for a table. And you get it back in the drinks or the food, whatever, that night. So
it kind of doesn't matter for us. That's another thing I miss. Because I remember a few weeks ago saying, can't we get our table booked for Mania and all this shit?
I know.
You know, Bee's ordered that shirt, the Bray Wyatt, John Cena one, where it's... And she's ordered me the Word Life one for the $1, for the quid. So she got her shirt 25 quid, and then I've got that one for a quid.
It's alright, isn't it?
I mean, the Reaper one, the Undertaker was fucking tidy as shit. I literally ordered that. But yeah, I mean, out of 10, I'm going to give it a nice solid 6.5. They did the best with what they could.
They did. I
just missed the crowd.
I'm going to give it a 7 because, like I say, they did brilliantly without the crowd.
I suppose if you critiqued it on what WWE did, it would get a higher number. I just missed the fireworks.
Like every fight I enjoyed, I was just confused with the scene and themed.
It's just
but the rest of the night,
hey John,
both nights, the rest of both nights, I enjoyed all the matches.
Yeah, I suppose actually not one match. I thought, fucking hell.
Which is a surprise for WrestleMania.
Because some matches you just like, right, come on, get this one over and done with.
It's a pointless
fight. Actually, no, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go above you. I'm going to say 8 out of 10. Because that's a good point you just made. None of the matches I was bored with. And the stuff that I'm annoyed at isn't WWE's fault.
Well, no, it's
so you know, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I'm going to stick to 8
8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it as a wrestling fan. I know some people have got their gripes with it and that, but I personally had fun. Sat with you, my bird, my mum, the dog. We watched you cut your first watching of the Tiger King.
In the morning, yeah.
So there you go, 8 out of 10. And we should have mentioned this on the film news actually. We'll just put it over. The UFC has now officially been cancelled. And I didn't realise that Disney cancelled it because they own ESPN and shit. So there's more shit that Disney own. UFC, there was going to be a massive fight on. It's been cancelled now because they got a loophole. They're doing it at an Indian site. And in America, the Indian reservation sites have their own laws. So laws to America don't apply to them, even though they're in like California or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dana White was like, right, we've got a venue. It's in this Indian reservation site. We're only bringing the fighters and a few members. That's it. No one's interacting. But ESPN have got hold of it. They're pulling all broadcasts and shit. So now UFC are going to buy an island and have all their fights on there. So they don't have to have any government bodies. They can just... I think it's mad.
Why can't they just fucking put everything on hold like everyone else?
Well... It's not.
Be patient. At the end of the day, it's not. It's nobody's fault this has happened.
You're right. Like, you don't get it wrong. You obviously want people to be safe, but you got to remember this isn't like any other sport and activity. Even the same as WWE. All you need is 2 fighters, a ref, and that's it. These are highly, highly trained athletes that are born killers. They don't give a shit about an illness. They don't give a fuck about any of that. All you need is the building, a couple of coaches, the fighters. That's it. the facilities and the money that these lot have, they can make no one interact with them. You get in your own car, your own limo, whatever it is, to the show. You do your fight. They all get tested. They all get made sure they're all right. Have the fight. Fuck off. And it gives us a little bit. Well, I mean, you're not a UFC fan, but I am. There was a big fight on this card. It gives us a little bit of a break. Now it's the last thing we can. Because whereas if it's the Premier League, you can understand you've got your 2 teams of 12. You've got the subs. You've got the coaches. You've got all the fucking thingy and that. There's. I mean, like the Newcastle United team. You've got all the massive group of 20 odd players. The extra 20 staff members, the manager, the backing staff, the security, you know, that shit. UFC, you don't need that. You just need your fighters and your ref and a manager in each corner. That's it. And it would have given us a nice break. You know, literally, like I said, these are fucking born killers. These are people who have the mindset of, I'm coming out here to absolutely kill somebody here. I'm going to rip their head off. Then they're not bothered about fucking an illness. And obviously, yeah, I'd make sure everybody's alright with it, which it would have been. But yeah, it's a little bit. But anyway, the whole point of that thing was, I was just saying, didn't realise Disney owned ESPN. So technically, Disney owns the UFC.
They're going to own the entire planet by a fucking so long.
It's fucking mad. But there we go. That was our little roundup of WrestleMania. It was fun. 8 out of 10 from both of us, Chris.
Yeah, I like you said, for what it was, not fault to their own. I still enjoyed it. I was just confused in one fight.
Still enjoyed it.
I still enjoyed it.
I was just confused at one fight. And fingers crossed, because we've missed our big, massive spectacle, which is WrestleMania, the next one is SummerSlam, which is the second biggest pay-per-view of the calendar year. Hopefully for SummerSlam, they just pull out all the stops. Because we missed it at Mania, they're going to go massive at SummerSlam. I hope, because by SummerSlam, that's late August. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully everything should be back to normal.
Yeah.
Or getting there, should I say.
But going off what people are saying, there's a second wave coming. There's an extra bigger bite of this thing.
See, this is the thing that's pissing me off. I don't know why we're talking about this, but this is the thing that's pissing me off. No one knows what it is. How do they know it's a second wave coming? How do they know?
Yeah, how do they?
It's exactly. It's a virus nobody knows. That's why it's taken so long to find a cure. That's why so many people are dying.
Yeah. It's what's doing my head in as well is everybody's still going to get this.
Yes.
Because all they're doing is just slowing it down, which is cool so that everyone can cope, like one patient instead of 5 and 5 and 5 and 5. They're just
it's
nicely
not
slowing
it down, it's slowing us
they're slowing us from getting it. So
we don't pester the NHS.
Let's be honest, when we get back to, when they say, oh, everything's normal, go back to your normal lives, nobody's going to be as cautious. Like, I got last time people, you know, will probably walk past me and that.
Yeah.
Gonna go back to, you're going to bump into each other. People aren't going to wash their hands. People are going to be coughing and coming out, I'm a little bit ill, I'm still going to work and shit. It's all going to go back at it again.
It is.
100% it is. But
but people saying, "Oh, the second wave's coming, oh, it's going to get big." It is going to get bigger. Sadly, we have said this before. A lot more people are going to die with it.
Yeah.
Until we figure out what it is, how we're going to sort it.
Yeah. And part of me, this is the fucking absolute buffoon of me talking. Part of me kind of thinks, well, should we maybe not get it because that way, that's how our body learns stuff. Okay, next time this comes around, we've fought this before. We know how to do it. You know, like when you first get they say give kids chicken pox.
It's like chicken pox, yeah. Once you've had it, majority of the population, you can't get it again.
Yeah.
There is the odd one or two in a couple of thousand that can get it again.
Which turns into shingles.
Later in life, and you can die of it or whatever else.
But our body needs to know how to fight shit. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say go up there and get this illness and shit like that. But it is eventually going to come. Like, I imagine I'm going to get it. I imagine maybe. To be honest, mate, this is me just again being a buffoon. I really do feel like I've had it because over Christmas I was proper ill. Like it's the worst cough I've ever had. I was waking up proper sweating and that. Got nausea. I felt pure. I was going to work and I was sat like that. It could have just been a really bad cold. But and then I give it to B. She had the exact same. I was like, I've never had a cold like this before. Like I was at work and I've never I smoke even when I've got a cough and shit. But I've never been like I need a break. But I was at work and I'm like, I can't breathe here, you know, doing this kind of shit. And then, after 2 weeks, it just went after taking normal medicines and shit. So I'm not trying to say I fucking had it, but I'm just saying that there's a slight chance that I may have had it. Yellow!
It's on the phone.
Right, anyway, we'll end it there. Well, you know, hopefully you enjoyed WrestleMania. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
Yes, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, so we're going to be going to the
we'll have a nice little conversation in the comments below about WrestleMania. And fingers crossed.
What did you enjoy? What didn't you enjoy? What would you have changed?
Match of the night.
Were you confused with themed and scenery as well as I was?
Did you let him in? Well, technically, you can't let him in because we walked into his house. He's letting us in.
You let me in because I wasn't yours.
I let you. Let you. Yeah, it's cool as fuck. I am looking forward to the Fiend Bray Wyatt because the Fiend and Braun Strowman. He brought up like, Braun, I brought you from the swamp and all this shit. Braun's like, bring it anytime, mate. But anyway, visuals, keep video and keep on keeping on.
And as always, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Still recording. Love you, visuals.